welcome to my channel. So I'm going to show you how to make these 2 Mother's Day cards. I didn't necessarily know what I was doing, I was just having a bit of a play around, and yeah. So the first stamp set I'm going to be using is the WOODWARE Mother's Day. And then these ones, I don't know what stamp set they're from. It came from a magazine subscription from a friend. So if I can find them, I will link them in the description box. You'll also need some circle nesting dies, some squares, and then a 4x4 inch card. So I've taken one of the squares. It's 7cm by 7cm. Unfortunately I couldn't do it in inches because it was too far. But the circle is 2 inches wide. So I'm sorry if it confuses people, I know it does for me, but obviously I couldn't give you the measurement because it was like a really weird number for inches. But this is basically what they're going to be looking like, and I couldn't necessarily decide on like what backgrounds I wanted to do, so I didn't know if I wanted to do ink blending or just pattern paper and all of that. So I decided to ask 2 people on my Instagram, so I will be linking them in the description box because they did help me. So I'm taking the little image of the 2 teddy bears hugging, and I just stamped that on the square, and then I'm going to repeat process but with the circle, and I'm using a rabbit. So my dad asked me to make a Mother's Day card for his mom, my grandma, and you know, I didn't want to make something really big because I did make a card for Mother's Day for my mom, and it took me 5 hours to make, and I was stressed. So I wanted something that would work and was quite simple. So this one was definitely a lot easier. I think these 2 cards took me about 45 minutes tops to make, but that was because I was waiting for people to reply to me to help me out. So yeah, so I've just stamped the images using TUXEDO black ink because I will be using my PROMARKERS, so that works great with that. It doesn't bleed or anything. So I'm gonna bring in some post-it notes. These are just normal post-its, they don't have the full stickiness on, but I just fussy cut that out because I was decided that I was going to do some ink blending on one of the backgrounds of the images, and then I was going to do pen and paper on the other one. So I'm taking some inks. The colour that I was taking was Dandelion, and then I decided that I was going to take 2 colours because I wanted to give it like a gradient, like sunset vibe, if that makes any sense. The tape I'm just using right now is just some glitter washi tape that I've had for the longest time. I seem to have misplaced my hunky dory low tack tape, so I need to find that. Or maybe I should buy a new one and then I'll find the old one. It's probably the quickest way. Also, I don't have a ink blending mat, or I can't remember what it's called, but I use my CD wallets for storing my stamps and stuff, and that's basically what I'm doing here, exactly the same. So you don't necessarily need to have something like major expensive or branded just to get the effect you want. I'm just using some stuff that I already have, and these are stuff that I already have, so it definitely works. So just take another look at your supplies in your craft room. Even if it's not necessarily a craft item, it can probably be used as a craft item, if you get what I mean. So what I might do is I might do a video soon and basically show you stuff that I use for crafting but isn't necessarily used for a craft. So like these are CD wallets, but obviously I'm not using them for CDs, so that's just one example. Anyway, so I just used my Spectrum No ink blending tool. I am looking into using the dome sponged ones, but so far these ones work great for me. I did get these originally from the Works, but unfortunately they stopped selling them, so I did only manage to find them on, I think it was Crafters Craft or Champions Craft, and then Amazon and whatnot. So I think I linked one of them in the description, I think the cheapest. And I'm taking TANGELO, which is an orange shade, and doing exactly the same. So this is the first time I've ever done 2 ink blends into one, because like I said, I'm still learning. I don't necessarily know everything, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And then once I finish that, I just take off the tape, the post-it note, and then I colour them in. So I'm going to stop talking, guys, and I'm going to speed up the process, and then I will also insert a time frame when I begin colouring so you guys know where to skip to if you don't like it. But I will see you in a second. finish colouring, I just bring in 2 images so you can see the difference. And what I decided to do, I was bringing in some pattern paper. So my pattern paper, unfortunately, I cannot link. Like I said, I've had quite a lot of pattern paper in my stash for so long that they've probably been discontinued, or I just couldn't find them. So this is Silky Rose. Again, most of them come from the works, so like I think they store them for like 6 weeks and then they change it. I don't necessarily know, so I really need to like order some new paper packs that you guys can order, but you know. So I decided to do this one for the bunny rabbit just to coordinate the pinks, and I love how these turned out, guys. Like, this is probably like one of my favorite cards, that because it's something that I've never done before and it turned out okay. So what I do is I just bring in my double-sided tape and I tape the base of the card, I guess you could say, and I do that all the way along, and then I use my stamping platform to line up the pattern paper with the card. That way it's always straight. The only thing I cannot do for the sake of me is I can never draw a straight line or cut a straight line. So I really should buy a guillotine, but I just do not have the storage space for it, so, you know, so if you guys have that, you can probably do a way better job than me. But there you go, so I just stuck it on, and that is now attached and straight, so I just need to cut those. I'm bringing in my stamp set from the WOODWARE Mother's Day set. This is the first stamp set that I've ever bought in such a rush, because I didn't have any Mother's Day sentiments ever, and the ones that I did for my mom's card, which was a water shaker, it turned out really bad just simply because the sentiment looked really bad. So I wish I had ordered this first before I did it. But unfortunately, you know, like my mom said, she's not really too bothered about it, you know, because it's the thought that went into it. So I need to start taking like pride in what I do. So this is the Mother's Day wishes sentiment. Also, guys, if you can hear like drilling or whatnot, it's just people taking down the trees at the back of the house. So I took the little love hearts from Monster Mash, and I'm taking love letters, and I think I went a bit over the board with all the little love hearts. That just says a lot about me. So, and this is something else I could never do normally, is line up a stamp when I've already done it with my acrylic block, because normally I can never do that, and normally I screw it up. But for once, I'm actually doing okay. So I do apologise for all the noise in the background if you can hear it. Unfortunately, there's not another day where I could edit this video, because obviously I've been working, and you know, this is the first time I've had a chance to actually sit down and like edit, and generally the case when you can do something, something else happens in the background. So I really do apologise, guys. I was just gonna like insert music all the way through it so you didn't hear it, but you know what I like to explain things to people. So I'm just gonna go into the front room, hopefully you can't hear it. So I'm now just taking one of my SCRIBB pens, and this is the pink shade. This is just a gel pen, and I'm just doing some outline stitch. It was a bit plain on the outside, so I thought I'd do this and add some color and just tie in all the pinks and stuff. You could actually leave this white, or if you have a circle stitched die, then obviously you probably wouldn't need to do this, but no, I think it just adds a little something. I am freehanding this, which is probably not the greatest idea, but yeah, no. One day we'll get really great. Also, guys, I want to recommend 2 people from Facebook for their lives, because they inspire me so goddamn much. One is called 88 and Clear. His name is Richard. He goes live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. He also has card clubs and stuff. Obviously I want to join, problem being it's in the US, so I can't really. That's the only downfall, but I definitely recommend out him. I will link one of his videos in the description below, and also Dallin RD. Now his name is Daniel, and the reason why it's called Dallin RD is because we're the art people that come and watch him. So that's kind of a thing he does. He goes live every Saturday. It depends on where you live with the time difference. Like, he went live yesterday, which was Saturday for me, and he went live at 2 AM, which was my time. So I think it was like 9:30 his time. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out him because he is a person that tends to like 2-dimensional cards, but he makes cards that look like they're 3-dimensional by doing little techniques and stuff. So I definitely recommend checking that out as well. I will link their Facebook groups down below. I was going to link their videos, but I don't know which video to link. Anyway, so I'm still adding hearts, and I think, like I said, I went a bit overboard with the hearts, but, you know, I think it's just, I don't know what the word is. I should have bought, like, another heart stamp, just a bigger one, and then doing, like, little ones around the outing, but I didn't, so that is my bad, unfortunately. Anyways, so I just decided to stamp the hearts on the other side as well, because it just looked a bit odd. So, bear with me. Let me know what you think of the little birds. Did I do okay coloring them? So I colored them, the little one lighter than the darker one, just because like a younger bird tends to be lighter than its parents because it's still growing and it's still, you know, getting its color. So as you can see, I only did one heart and then I changed my mind off screen. Now I'm bringing in the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. And I'm going to use 2 of the colours that I used for the ink blending background. I didn't know if this was going to work out, but it did. And I absolutely love it. So for somebody who isn't very good at this sort of stuff, I think I did a great job. So you'll have to let me know, guys. So I basically did the ombre effect in the sentiment. So everything I used is linked in the description if I can find it. If it's not, it's just because it's either that really old or you just cannot buy it anymore. So I do try and find things that are still available for you guys, but yeah. So I love how that turned out. So I'm now going to bring in some 3D adhesive squares to adhere the image to the background, and then also bring in STELLA for each card, and then also use my personal stamp using the ombre effect again, and then just add STELLA and also add some glossy accents to make this card just a little bit more pop. This is a collaboration with 2 other girls for Mother's Day, so their videos will be linked in my description, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the notification bell because I have no idea now if I'm going to be uploading on the specific days that I used to, just with things being a little bit more hectic with work and stuff like that. So make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell. Also follow me on my socials because I tend to upload a picture of the card before it goes live up on YouTube, so that way you can be notified that way if you don't want to hit the notification bell. But yeah, the 2 girls that I am collabing with on this video are Roslyn and Claire. Claire was in a previous collaboration with me, so I really want to say a big thank you to her. And their Instagrams will also be linked in my description as well. So there's 4 girls in total that will be linked, 2 of which helped me decide on what I was doing, and 2 that are part of the collaboration. I will put in brackets who are who and whatnot, so that way it's not as confusing. But apart from that, guys, I will see you in my next video. I hope you guys are staying safe and have some fun crafting. Bye, guys.